everybody, welcome back to Free Class Week and welcome to my studio. We are going to have a little bit of playtime today. Free Class Week is all about tangling together. Even though we are doing this in a pre-recorded video, I'm happy to spend a little bit of time with you, explore some pen strokes, enjoy a tile, get a breath and a gratitude. That's all what Free Class Week is about. Today I'm going to work with my simple supplies of a fine liner pen. Whatever you're using is fine. I have a micron, and I'm going to work in the round today. I'm going to have a Zentangle tile, but anything round is fine. Even if you're working in a journal, grab whatever supplies you enjoy tangling with. No judgment. Grab whatever you like, whether it's a Zentangle branded or not. This is about your creative journey, nothing else. Okay, let's have a moment of gratitude and get rocking and rolling today. Take a nice good deep breath. Slow inhale, slow exhale. Sometimes this is the only time during the day or even the week that you get a good deep breath. So enjoy every moment. Notice where you hold any tension. If your mind wanders, just bring it back. Acknowledge that it's wandering. It's okay. The affirmation I pulled for today: I have permission to take a breath and slow down to enjoy this moment. Have a moment of gratitude. Pause the video for as long as you want or need and come back when you're ready. All right, so there's the tile that I pulled for today's class. And the interesting thing, I think, is that this is the tangle we're working with today by chance. This is a tangle called Find Go, and I'm excited to tangle it. I love tangling feather-ish type things, and this is one of my favorites. So this is from my affirmation deck for those who haven't seen or are starting Free Class Week here. I pull a card before every class. People want to see the artwork on the cards, so that's why I show it under camera. Okay, so here's the tangle we're going to work with today. Find Go by Juliet Feisinger, I think is how you say her last name. So that's one of them. We also have Muka today, and we also have a variation of Dragonair by Norma Burnell. So these are the three tangles we're going to work with. We're going right to our Zentangle, something in the round, and I'm going to tangle with an 05 pen, but tangle with whatever you like. And my Find Go is going to go right up the center in a sway, a little bit of an S curve. So we're going to put the stem in first. I'm going to start at the bottom and just meander this up the center of my tile, center-ish, just a gentle S curve. And then I'm going to aura that with a wire border at the bottom, and then gradually skinnying it, that aura, until it eventually joins the top. So anything close to this is fine. Okay, so the next step on this, and just a reminder, if you're doing these classes in order, but if you're here for the first time, I'm going at my own pace for the size of the video. Please, please, please pause and enjoy your pen strokes. Please do not feel rushed. Okay, so we're going to start from the stem, and every time you do something from the stem of a feather-ish type tangle, you always want to go from the bottom up. You want that pen stroke to come bottom up because they all grow from the stem like this. But in Fine Go, the first thing you put down are these little flick marks with a dot at the end. So these are the feather dividers. So if you look at the step out, you put in the dividers first, and then we're going to fill in the section part. So it's a flick mark with a dot. Leave a bit of space. Take off on that stem, flick mark, and a dot. And as you get closer to the top, they get shorter. Just kind of let them happen. Notice they have a little bit of a sway, little bit of a curve, and they're always doing a nice takeoff from that stem. I'm going to reposition my tile to do the other side, and the left side or the other side does not have to mirror, so I like them offset a bit. If they mirror, that's fine, and this doesn't feel comfortable for me, so I'm actually going to turn it upside down and come this way. So no judgment if you do things upside down. Things usually feel more comfortable in one direction than they do another. Okay, so here's what happens in between these spaces. And this is the way I describe it and I think about it. You are the top. I'm going to do this section right here. And I'm just going to try to explain it as I do it. You start at the top, and I'm going to aura that divider line. But when I get out to the top, I'm going to go give myself a little point, a little sway up, and come down, and then when I get to the bottom, I'm going to do a slight curve and then aura the top of the divider below it. So what I like in this feather, Fine Go, is this part right here, this rounded area. I don't like it as a point. I like the little contrast of the flick up here. And then what I do is in this corner, I do a bit of an aura. Leave that little bit of a highlight and give that a bit of weight at the bottom. So each one of these sections gets one of these panels for the feather. So I'll do that again in one full pen stroke. Aura below the divider, flick up, come down, slight curve, and then I aura the bottom divider. And I'm going to blend out that takeoff because I didn't do that very well on that one. And then aura. And your wheels are probably already turning about variations on this and things you can do. And then as I get up to the top, I have these gradually get narrower. So if my divider is too short or too long, I put this panel in wherever I think it should go. I let the divider be there. Like right here, my divider's short, but I did my petal longer because it needed that wide base. So I don't necessarily let the divider dictate the width of these panels. I let them all be kind of on their own. And also you could see in this one, I went a little too fast and I didn't get the 90-ish degree turn that I got here. I got a little bit too rounded. Not my favorite variation of this petal, but I'm just going to go with it. And when I come up to this one, I'm going to take my time so that I come down and then get that more appealing rounded edge, more appealing for me. Again, we all have our own likes and dislikes. You may have a different variation of this than I do. Right? And then we're just going to fill this feather. Okay, so you've got your feather right up the center of your tile. I'm going to define that center stem. I think I need a petal down here. I look a little bare down here. Okay, and there you have Fingo. Pretty simple. You can come in and do a couple little flick marks right from the stem. Start on the stem and then just really flick your pen. So this is not a straight line, it's a little bit of a curve, always going towards the top of your feather. I use the term feather loosely. We're not really trying to make a feather. I personally still consider this just a tangle, not necessarily Zentangle inspired art, which is debatable. I was in repetitive pen stroke world, and this isn't what ended up coming out. Okay, so we're going to do Muka next, and I know that some people have trouble with Muka. I'm going to show you how I describe it. Muka is this one by Zentangle Headquarters. The way I describe Muka is a stem, an orb that doesn't touch, and then an aura of the stem. Going the other way, a stem, orb that doesn't touch, and then auras down the stem. So that's kind of the breakdown of what Muka is. What we are going to do is take Muka, and that stem is going to aura the curve of your tile. Do the orb here and then aura down to a point. So let me show you in pen strokes what I just said. I'm going to start here. It's not touching anything. I'm going to aura my tile. all the way up. Then I'm going to do an orb, and then I'm going to aura that stem all the way down to a point. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So for me, I have to turn my tile. I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to aura my tile. Now, I can't see as well, so I've got to move it a little bit. Up to the top. Big orb. And then aura. Turning my tile. So this is my awkward side. I'm auraing all the way down and coming to that point. Okay, so you get a mirror muka, one on either side. And what we're going to do inside this curve, and again, pause your video, go ahead and catch up if you need to. Come on back. In this inside curve, we're going to do Dragonair. But we're not going to do the S curves, we're just going to do a C curve on this. So Dragonair goes like this. On this inside curve, we're going to put some dots. And these dots, and they can just be orbs. I'm looking at the distance from here to here. And as I make my way up, that distance is getting a little bit wider. So you get this series of dots. It's close to this curve, and then it gets a little wider. From the top of each of those dots, I'm going to do a curve down to that muka stem. Same C curve. From the top of that dot all the way down to that muka stem. At the bottom of that muka stem, I can round that corner just a bit. Okay. Now I'm going to turn that Dragonair this way. And from the first dot to the second, I'm going to do an S curve. From the top of this dot, I go to the right side and I land on the left side. I take off from the right side and I land on the left side. And there's your Dragonair. Now all you're going to do is do the same on the other side. You're going to do your dots all the way up. I'm going to have my C curves go the other direction. So the C curve always goes away from the stem. This one goes away from the stem and this one goes away from the stem. And then since we're on the other side, that S curve is the reverse. I take off on the left and land on the right. So I'm always landing on the inside. Quite honestly, I think you can do it either way. Okay. There you have our tile. Let's get some shading going. Okay, so in our Fine Go feather, I'm going to shade the stem of each of those panels. So I'm not shading the full stem, just the bottom of each one of those sections. Because right now we're losing where our spacers are, where that divider flick mark is. And once we get shading in there, that space in between each of these pods is going to get more prominent. And you're going to blend this out, but you're going to leave the tip of those panels bright. So it'll be dark at the stem, bright at the end. And you can do a little bit of shading down the left side of the stem if you have enough room. It's a detail that you can play with for more accents or contrasts. Then I'm going to come to my Dragonair, and on the inside of each of these C curves, I'm going to put a decent amount of graphite right up against that pen line. If you want to get more in-depth detail about shading, I have a course in my Teachable School that goes into a lot of detail, tips, different tools, all kinds of stuff in there. We don't have the luxury of time here to get into a lot of it, but you are welcome to check there for more detailed tips and tricks. And then just to soften the center a little bit, I'm going to put a little bit of graphite in this big old white area. I'm going to have it come from the inside of the edge of Dragonair, and I'm just going to pull it out just to tone down that white a little bit. And I'm going to tone down my Muka orb a little bit. doesn't show up on screen. I did forget to do one thing on the Muka. We'll come back to that. I was wondering why it looked a little bare. In my regular classes, I do not go this quickly. We take our time. But for these free class weeks, I keep it a little bit zippy for the video size. Okay, so the last thing I forgot to do earlier when we did Muka is that I do take a tethered aura around the bottom of Muka and color that in with the highlight, just to give it a little bit of weight. And I will sometimes continue this line into a little bit of a fescue because that's my go-to tangle. Okay, get our chop on here. And there's our tile for today. Take a nice, good deep breath. Hold out your tile. Have a moment of gratitude for the tangling you just completed. Did you have a nugget of inspiration that you're excited to go explore, or maybe tried something you hadn't tried before? Take that all in and absorb it. All right, my friends, thank you for being here. I think we have one more. If you're going in order, if you're going out of order, you may have more. Have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.